What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about 5 games that were not announced at the PS5 reveal event. So, a little while ago, a couple hours ago, we talked about my top 5 favorite things. In this video, this is going to be more of a looking back at some of the games that I thought that could have been there. People had leaks on, people had, really speculated, like, this is what I think is going to be there, and ultimately, they were not there, okay? So, that's what this video is going to be handling. Now, really quickly, before I jump in, I want to promote my second channel. I know I've already done that once today, but it'll be in the description below. If you guys please check that out, subscribe there. I'm going to be making videos on the PS5 event tomorrow and over the weekend there as well, so it kind of allows me to make some videos I wouldn't be able to make on this channel over there. And I will start this out. Let's say this. I will start out by saying the Warner Bros. Games, with also a kind of public service announcement. Tomorrow morning, we're going to talk specifically about Batman, okay? Specifically about the Batman game and it not being there, the leaks and stuff. So you guys are looking for that. I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow, but it is important. It's important to talk about that. I think that would be number one. Now, technically, I guess this maybe isn't, a ranking, putting them in a list, but the Warner Bros. Games, let's combine into one, succinct game. About Batman, you could say Rocksteady, even though nobody really expected that, but Batman and Harry Potter, the thing, again, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow with the Batman, the thing you got to be careful of is that there are these leaks, and these things do build up right before the event. Now, I'm no stranger to falling into it. I'm no stranger to being to believing it, to fall basically in their trap. I completely understand why people wanted to see something like this there. People really wanted Batman. People really wanted Harry Potter. I understand it. I get it. At the same time, the picture, we can talk all about that, that like leaked image that had the PS5 and PS4 in the bottom left. Again, it's just a lot of people, I think, capitalizing off of this reveal, that there's a huge reveal coming, and we've gone through this, even the time that I've covered it, nonstop on the channel. I've even been through it several times where you see the build up to every single event. There always seems to be this build up with this game, and then it doesn't happen, and people kind of fall under the trap. This game, again, specifically about Batman and even Harry Potter, both of these games are real. Both of these games are coming. We're going to get the announcement very soon. In fact, for Batman, there is actually a bit of information that we have to go off of. That's actually very good news. It's okay. It's okay that these games weren't there. I wasn't expecting them. So, I mean, am I a little let down? I mean, yeah, it would have been cool to see that on, I don't know, I was watching on my TV, so like on the big screen, on this live stream of the PS5. Of course it would have been cool. Of course. But at the same time, it's not something that we should have been expecting. I was not expecting it, but I do understand it let a lot of people down. Another one, God of War 2. This is a shocker. This is honestly a shocker. I can see why, and all of these, by the way, have their individual reasons I can make and I will make for why they weren't there. I understand why God of War wasn't shown. In fact, the way they did it, besides, like, remember there was that one game towards the end, it looked a lot like Death Stranding in a way. It was that weird kind of game with the guy in, like, the astronaut suit. Wasn't that game, like, didn't it say at the end, like, 2022? Besides that game, the rest of these games were really 2020 games and 2021 games. But specifically the big PlayStation ones, if you look at the big PlayStation ones, Ratchet & Clank you would expect kind of early. Horizon, that was their big one. Now, it didn't say any kind of date for Horizon, right? But you got to imagine that if that's not a launch title, which I'm sure they're going to talk about, they'll get to the point where they say, okay, here's going to be the launch lineup, here's going to be a couple months after, you know what I mean? We know Hitman 3 is actually January of 2021, so some of them they did actually give months to, but a lot of them are windows, okay? And now, why am I saying this? Well, again, they kind of focused on the near future, okay? The near future, and specifically, I would even say with their actual exclusive lineup, okay? Again, like SpiderMan, having it be basically that spin-off game, right? The Miles game, being in holiday 2020, Horizon, all this kind of stuff. You didn't see them do God of War. You didn't see them do a brand new Uncharted, which, again, I really do think is being worked on. You didn't see Naughty Dog's second game, which you could probably show because it's been in the works for 2 years. It's clearly for the PS5. You could have shown it, but this isn't the event for that. You know what I mean? So you have all of those things. I understand why they didn't do God of War 2. At the same time, that would have, and maybe also because that would have probably broke the internet, right? That would have been, I think, the biggest thing. I think Horizon, well, if you watched the last video, I think Horizon was by a mile the biggest thing, and it was my favorite, my personal favorite, but I also think it was the biggest thing, hence why they left it for the very, very end. But God of War, I think, would have been even a one-up on that, right? That would have been even bigger. And again, like, would you have done a very, very small teaser? What would you have done for it? Obviously, we won't know, or maybe we'll find out eventually over the next couple months, over the next couple years. But again, I understand why it wasn't there. I was kind of looking forward to it. I did actually say, remember, I didn't think it was as much of a lock as SpiderMan and Horizon. Those were two games that I said are absolute locks to be there. Technically, I was half right with SpiderMan. We did get a new SpiderMan. It just wasn't SpiderMan 2. But God of War was kind of that third one that's like, yeah, it's kind of likely, although at the same time, I can understand why it wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? So, again, I see both sides to it. The third one, Silent Hill. This is a game that I think a lot of people were expecting. A lot of people kind of asking, like, hey, why wasn't this there? In fact, Resident Evil 8 was there, but this game wasn't there, so why? And again, I think it ultimately comes down to, remember, we saw a lot of leaks, a lot of people saying, for some reason, it's either here or it's August. And I guess it's because Sony's going to do another State of Play in August, or at least that is the word around the street, right? They haven't confirmed that, at least now the time I'm recording this, but they're probably going to do something later down the line, probably to get all the other games that they did not say. Because again, there's a lot of games. This is just a small list. There's a lot of other games I'm sure people were hoping for or expecting at this event that wasn't there. Again, what we heard is Silent Hill will just be there. So again, this is just a matter of waiting now that August would be the time. Kind of same thing for Batman. That August will be the time that we will get Silent Hill. Okay, Silent Hill will be coming to us in August, I assume, unless those people the leakers are wrong yet again, which they have been wrong before. But you got to trust them at some point. Again, somewhat disappointing, but we got our horror game fix. We got the Ghostwire Tokyo, which looks absolutely awesome, and then we also got Resident Evil 8, which is enough of a horror kind of experience in one event that I'm able to take. Right? If we got more of them, fine. But I think we got what we kind of were expecting. I think we were expecting one of the two. Right? People kind of went into this thinking it was either going to be Resident Evil 8 or it was going to be Silent Hill. We got one of them. Again, I'm very excited to see Silent Hill. Again, people have said like it's coming sooner than we think, so it could even be a launch lineup game, or at least they could be trying to make it a launch lineup game. But again, I think just a little while longer until we see that one. The fourth one, this is kind of cheating, but it's Spider-Man 2. And again, this is one that I had predicted. This is one of the ones that I said was a lock. This goes to, again, the general confusion. I said it in the last video a couple hours ago. The general confusion of what they're doing here. Now, again, I'm recording these back to back, so you maybe have to give the news cycle a night, a day, a couple days. I think they got to make this clear relatively soon. In fact, maybe they already did, and you guys can definitely let me know, in the comments if anything's changed. But they really, I think, have to clarify: is this a glorified DLC? Is this basically a DLC to Spider-Man? Obviously, not like the City That Never Sleeps thing. Is this something additional to it? Obviously, we were playing as Miles because it's a spin-off game. It's a and I keep calling it Spider-Man 1.5. I wonder if they're going to use these words or kind of explain it in the way that I'm explaining it. That'd be pretty interesting. But I think that's what it is. So again, it goes to my question of, we were expecting Spider-Man 2. And this one, I think, makes the most sense. I completely understand why they do this. Spider-Man 2 is a year and 3 months away, right? Probably fall, September, October of 2021. And obviously, we talked about it. We talked about it a lot. Spider-Man is such an important game for them. In fact, I made a video saying, is Spider-Man 2 their most important game? Right now, it actually looked like it would be Horizon. But, Spider-Man 2 is going to be massive, but it is a little further away. And again, the way that they were going about this conference was not really talking about games that are that far. 2021 is going to be big. I'm sure the fall of 2021 is going to be big. I'm sure 2022 is going to be big too, because you're going to have a lot of the games that are coming out around now or like last year. You'll have their next game, those developers' next games, they'll be coming out, right? So you're going to have a lot of games. There's going to be a lot of big games, but I see why, right? Spider-Man is so important. I don't know how it was possible that they're able to do this. I don't know how Insomniac is making a Ratchet & Clank game, Spider-Man 2, and a Spider-Man, basically a spin-off game, all at the same. And I guess spin-off, it'll probably set up Spider-Man 2. Okay, it's like an in-between, a 1.5. But I mean, bravo to them for being able to do these three things at once. I can't imagine they're doing anything more, but you never know. But again, a little shocking. I think we were all expecting Spider-Man 2, but at the same time, again, that's why this is kind of a lame. I'll give you this. It's a lame addition to my list, but it was because I was so close. We were all so close with Spider-Man 2, and instead we got Spider-Man 1.5, but we were close enough. And the fifth one is a Crash Crash game. Now, last night, we obviously got word that from a lot of different people saying, like, Crash is coming, brand new. I mean, obviously, with all the merchandise, right, of all, like, basically the redesign of Crash Bandicoot, right? So, obviously, people were going insane, including myself. I love Crash, one of my childhood, games that I played so much, all those Crash games. So, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And again, this is an example where, okay, you have these leaks, you have this redesign, you have everybody talking about, you have everybody saying, like, Crash is back, Crash is back. It's coming. It's just not, it just didn't happen today, okay? It's coming probably in the next couple of days. In fact, I actually cannot imagine June goes by and we don't see it. I could see it being part of that future game show on Saturday. I could see it being one of IGN's reveals. You know what I mean? There's plenty of opportunities for, and again, this goes for Harry Potter, this goes for Batman, this goes for a lot of games. There's plenty of opportunities, even in June, to still be announced, okay? And I really, for Crash, I don't see June going without it being announced. I really think that's a game that needs to be announced just based off of everybody's talking about it. All that merchandise is kind of out in the public. You got to kind of address it. And again, they're not going to address it, but they're going to say, hey, brand new Crash game from the ground up. Like, this is our first time in a long time doing this. And that's very exciting. I mean, I really was hoping for it. At the same time, is it going to be a PS4 exclusive game? I mean, it very well could be. The other two started as it, right, and then came to other consoles. So we'll have to see what they do with Crash, if it's even going to be a PlayStation, a centric thing. But we'll have to see. Really, all these games. The good news with this list, even though this is kind of like, again, these were the games we're hoping for, so maybe people are disappointed that we didn't get them. Here's the good news. If you guys watch this whole video, all these games are coming. All these games are real. All these games exist. All these games are being made. All these games are going to get announced, okay? I mean, that's just factually how it's going to be, and that should make you feel better, that although they weren't announced today, these games, I think, are very real, and I don't see us going throughout the summer and out of the summer into the fall without hearing more about these games and getting these games announcements. So that's the good news. Bad news is they just weren't announced today, but again, we got plenty of games that were announced today. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I do honestly, truly appreciate it. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on. Check out my second channel. Again, there's going to be lots of videos. There's going to be videos tomorrow. Not everyone will probably get a notification. I'll have videos on my second channel, throughout the weekend. In fact, on Saturday, obviously, there's going to be a lot of games revealed. We'll talk about those on Sunday, most likely. So lots of stuff coming from the channel. I'm really excited to make these videos and talk about all these games with you guys. I live for these moments. I really do. I love doing this kind of stuff. So I do really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if there's any specific game you want me to talk about. I honestly would be up to hearing that. If there's anything you guys want to hear me talk about in regards to the PS5, let me know. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed, all that kind of stuff, both channels, and I'll see you all on the next video.